So in the video before this one, I give a really decent feeding tip for psychic vampirism at the end of the video. And I appreciate the second part of your comment, because I've said 100 times over I'm not an educator. Psychic vampirism holds a special place in my heart though. Some of my oldest uploads on this page, I'm talking about psychic vampires. Before I even entered the witchy community, I was talking about psychic vampires. And psychic vampirism is a topic that I oftentimes keep coming back to. When it comes to psychic vampirism, we have very limited resources for help. These are the two books that I recommend over and over, because they are the best that I have found and read. I have been in and out of and around psychic vampire communities since 2007. The history is long and tumultuous and full of people that can't agree on anything and would love to argue about it. For the most part, psychic vampire communities have been very demonstrably members only, which means good help isn't easy to come by. So the thing that gets to dominate the narrative is misinformation that is run by New Age spiritualists. People that think that every single narcissist is a psychic vampire. People think that psychic vampires are literally monsters incarnate in human flesh. And it doesn't help when you have things like the Satanic Bible, written by Anton LaVey in the 60s. So what he wrote about psychic vampires in that book is reflective of the way that vampires were understood in the 60s. And even then, the community as we know it didn't even really start to take root until the late 80s and early 90s. Courtesy of meet and greets surrounding the tabletop role-playing game Vampire the Masquerade. And the influence from Vampire the Masquerade is palpable in the community. Long story short, the old way is dead, the old guard needs to take a step back. Because I don't see a whole lot of other psychic vampires who feel safe or comfortable enough to start talking about this topic. The way that things were before simply are outdated because they didn't work then and they don't work now. I don't want to be an educator, but what I mean when I say that is that I don't want to adhere to a very specific way of doing things that are commonly and popularly ascribed to in a community that I have spent a lot of time sharing my grievances with, and that is the greater Witch Talk community. And one of the reasons that I rationalized with myself to start making content like this again is that good content is in short supply. Good information is in short supply. And that goes for the witchy community and the vampire community. People genuinely think that psychic vampires and witches can't get along. This is from Anne Rice novels and other fantasy works. So I don't want to be an educator, because I don't want to adhere to a set of rules and a way of doing things that I never agreed to begin with. I simply had to play the part in order to get by. But I also didn't realize how much this content meant to people until I stopped doing it. So am I gonna educate? Not necessarily. I'm going to info dump about my autistic special interests, and if you learn something from it, that's fucking awesome. So if you want to learn more about psychic vampirism and what I've said before, I've got 4 playlists so far on the topic, and almost every single one of those videos utilizes the hashtag SciVampTalk if you just want to look through hashtags. On that note, thank you for the comment. That served as an awesome jumping point. Till next time, take care and much love.